So we're planning on going down the Pontledge River today. The Pontledge is quite a history. It goes back to the coal mining days, and it was actually harnessed for power by Dunsmuir when he built the dam back in 1912.
In 1912, 25 years after the coal production had started in the Cumberland area, Canadian Collieries Dunsmuir Limited built the dam and the flumes on Comox Lake and the Pontledge River to provide electricity for the operation of their coal mines. This electricity played an essential part in the development of the communities in the Comox Valley area. Some communities didn't survive after the death of the coal mining industry.
In the winter months there can be a lot more flow in the river, and certainly the flow is controlled by the dam. But in the summer months, especially during the drier periods, you're going to see this river has a nice slow pace to it, a knot, maybe a couple of knots in places. It kind of meanders and winds its way down to a lower dam. And it's actually a very nice paddle, and like I say, it has a lot of history to it.
As you can see from the photos, Comox Lake, the dam site, and the Pontledge River were very much alive at the turn of the century. Back then, these areas became very popular recreation spots, just as they are today.
And we got this granite walkway here, staircase we're going to go down, and sometimes I'll launch over in this little spot here. It's a nice launch here, so if it's not busy, I'll launch here, and if it gets a little busier, we just kind of come over here, and here we can take a peek at the river, and this is the direction we're going to be headed.
Just another fact, like the coins you kept or the bags you finally packed.
A very hot afternoon in August here. You can pretty much jump in anywhere here. The water is very warm at this time of the year. Just giving you a bit of an idea of the clarity in the water here. It's a very clean river. We've got a lot of, spots where it's maybe 3-4 feet, 5 feet, and then it goes into 15 feet, deep pools and that. It's basically, it's a hard bottom, so it's sandstone and gravel. This is a glacier-fed lake that feeds into the river here. It's usually pretty cold, Comox Lake. We're getting the upper layer of water because this is much warmer. More like maybe the top 6 inches or the top foot of Comox Lake. But if you get down deep enough on the deeper pools, you do notice it is a fair amount cooler. But I certainly notice that it's one of the warmer rivers, if not the warmest river I've been in all summer. You can see how tranquil it is here. It's just a slow moving, you get maybe a couple of knots at the most, maybe a knot here and a few knots there, but If the wind gets blowing, you basically can go the other direction.
Well, I remember in my hometown, I met a pretty girl there. Well, I remember in my hometown when I met a pretty girl there. And her little white dress at the county fair. She took my hand, we made some plans, and our love did grow. She took my hand, we made some plans, and our love did grow. But as sure as those seasons change, her heart grew cold. So goodbye, Carolina Rose. I went up to a mountain town to see some friends I had. I went up to a mountain town to see some friends I had. When I came back down, my little girl gone mad.
We're approaching the landing that connects with the river trail that leads to the old number 7 mine site. This is a very popular swimming and picnic site in the summer. When you look back into the bush here, you can visualize a lot of history that goes back to the early 1900s. The number 7 mine shaft is only a short distance from here, and it was built in 1902. This was the location of Bevan and the number 7 mine site. We started building houses in 1911, and the Bevan town site grew to over 100 homes. Like Cumberland, it became a very active community. By 1913, they had built a company store, a post office, and built a large hotel. Then eventually that was followed by a school. This is a picture of the number 7 mine, and now we're looking into the hoist room. This is the building of the company store, and this picture shows the inside of the store. In those days, everything was connected by railway. And this is the infamous old number 15 steam engine and the crew that worked on it. By 1913, number 7 mine was shipping a huge tonnage of coal to Union Bay. It was steadily being loaded on large sailing ships. Much of that coal was being shipped to San Francisco. One of the larger, more elegant homes in Bevan was the mine manager's house. This is a picture of the Bevan Hotel with a 1920s motor vehicle in front. By 1936, they pumped out and reopened the number 8 shaft. This was the location of the number 8 mine site. This furthered the employment of the miners in the Bevan area. It was a couple kilometers east of Bevan on Lake Trail. It stayed into operation until the early 50s. Number 8 mine was the very last mine to operate in the Bevan area. The history of the kids that grew up and went to school in the Bevan area was about to change. When the mine closed, the community of Bevan slowly became a ghost town. Many of the homes were moved to the Cumberland area of town site. You can see some of these homes on Penrith Avenue in Cumberland. The old Bevan Hotel became the Bevan Lodge. I remember when the lodge was torn down and people salvaged that high quality lumber. And today this is what's left of the number 7 mine, which is located on the Bevan Trail, close to the Upper Puntledge River, a very popular walking trail. Built in 1902, it produced over 1 million tons of coal. The number 8 mine site is on the Comox Lake logging road. It is about 260 meters west of the Inland Highway. It shut down in 1953 and was the last of the Cumberland mines. Foundations in the ghost town of Bevan are well hidden by the overgrowth. When you walk through these areas, you can feel the ghosts of the past.
So she's kind of a smoky sky, but it's warm. It's not super hot, but it's warm. Kind of a lazy, hazy day of summer.
If you walk along the river trail, you'll see the remnants of the old number 7 mine and the coal slags. I've also seen numerous artifacts hidden in the brush. I found a rail car wheel in the river partially covered with sediment, and I got a good look at it in the clear water. At the time, I didn't think of making a lineup along the shoreline so I could easily locate it again and get a camera shot of it the next time I was in the river. I've been looking for that wheel ever since.
So the water moves fairly fast through this shallow section here. You can see it's fairly shallow in here. So we're coming up to the spillway, and I can see the pull-out, the staircase up in the distance there. So, and of course you can hear the spillway. You can hear the water coming over the spillway there. So we have come pretty much to the end here.